One type of issue is what is called public issue. Public issue where no restriction is put forward by the issuing company. It is open to any individual having sufficient money can enter into and trade or buy the shares and securities. Whereas the second type of share issue that may be possible is known as right to issue method. Right to issue method. Shares may be issued in another way also, right to issue method. Right to issue method means it is available, the shares are available only to the existing shareholders. Existing shareholders, additional share they can purchase. If the company is issuing additional share, it is open only for those who have the shares previously purchased. Existing shareholders alone, the new issue is open. No other public, others cannot enter into and purchase such a share. So we call that right to issue method of share issue. And thirdly, there is another method of share issue which is known as private placement. Private placement method. Private placement method. According to the private placement method, the issuing industrial concern will decide. This is issuing industrial concern will decide to which category of person it can be sold. It may be sometimes sold to, we may say urban people only, or to the rural people only. It may be sometimes for the private individuals only, a particular class of person as determined by the board of directors. Alone the shares will be made available. General public cannot purchase. General public cannot purchase, but it is meant for a particular defined class as per the decision taken by the board of directors. When the board of directors is deciding in a particular class of person who can buy the shares, such a share issue is what is known as the private placement method. Our private placement method, particular class of person as per the decision of the board of directors, it is decided. Existing shareholders can purchase additional if it is right to issue method. Anybody can purchase if it is public issue method. Anyhow, these are the methods by which the shares usually sold in the private sector or the industrial sector. Then there is another, at the time of independence, there were no sufficient commercial banks in India. And so also capital market, already we could establish the capital market sufficiently early 1875 by name Stock Brokers Association, which is subsequently converted as the Bombay Stock Exchange Market. There was no business actually. There was no actual business, and traders were also not sufficient in the capital market of India. Then as the commercial banks were insufficient, it was very difficult to generate debt capital for the industrial purposes. For the industrial purpose, if a loan is taken by the industry from the commercial bank, it is known as debt capital, a source of finance for industrialization, taking loan from the commercial bank. Debt capital. That debt capital source was not at all sufficient because sufficient number of commercial banks were not available in India. And so immediately after the independence, when industrialization, capital formation, investment became very necessary, the scarcity of commercial bank, one of the most important problem at that time. As a substitute form, in order to issue shares and borrow money for industrialization, capital market was not popular. Capital market was not popular, and there were no traders in the capital market. Though there is a capital market already we could establish, no proper business was there. About the most important problem that we were facing at the time of independence was insufficient finance for the capital formation and industrialization of the Indian economy. And at that time we have also made a decision that we may accept foreign capital only minimum extent possible, self-generated, self-sufficient and self-reliant economy to establish in India. Government of India was trying. Self-reliant with least assistance from foreign countries. Least assistance from foreign country, and so foreign capital we did not give any significance at the time of our independence. So at the time of our independence, in order to start industries and for the capital formation purpose, Government of India started a number of commercial bank-like institutions known as development banks, investment banks, industrial banks. Government of India by its own initiative started a separate group of commercial bank-like institution known as development banks sometimes, investment bank sometimes, and sometimes it was also called industrial banks. Our industrial banks or development banks as well as the investment banks were established by Government of India for what? Subscribing to the share capital of private industrial concerns. Subscribing to the share capital of the private industrial concern. That means if an industrial concern is issuing shares and security in the capital market, as there are no traders sufficiently available to buy these shares and security, Government of India established institutions called development bank, the duty of which is to subscribe the share capital of the private institution. When the private institution is issuing shares for capital formation, starting of an industry, these financial institutions should buy. This financial institution, commercial bank like financial institution, namely investment bank or development bank or industrial bank, their duty to buy. That is what is called subscribe to the share capital of the industrial concern. With that objective, number of institutions were established. And all these institutions, some of which are nationalized, sometimes these are private now. Now there are some modification, alteration is there, but we may say all those development banks established since our independence, even today working in our national level capital market. In the BSc and in the NSC, we find these institutions existing and helping to subscribe to the share capital of the private industrial concern even today. All of them taken together we call financial institutions of the capital market. Financial institutions. All of them taken together we call financial institutions in the capital market. All these financial institutions are once upon a time Government of India established. Though there are some alterations, some are on a reverse merger basis, private institution converted as private institution. Modifications are there, but all these industrial or investment or development banks established for the purpose of subscribing to the share capital of the industrial concern even today exist in the capital market, trading of shares and securities in the capital market. All of them taken together we call financial institutions. The most important financial institution to start after our independence. The first one to start was in the year 1948. That is known as Industrial Financial Corporation of India, IFCI. Industrial Financial Corporation of India, which was started in the year 1948. In the year 1948, we find the first development bank established by Government of India by name Industrial Financial Corporation of India, even today existing in the capital market, doing trading in the shares and securities. And we know that it was working without any much criticism. success. It was a successful venture started by Government of India for the first time after independence. Because of its popularity, IFCI popularity, all the state governments subsequently also thought, why can't state financial corporations be established for subscribing to the share capital of the state industries? When within the state a private industrial concern is establishing, and if it issues shares and security, in order to subscribe, in order to purchase the shares and security issued by the industrial concern within the state financial corporation are also necessary. Thus, one by one, all the states subsequently tried to establish their state financial corporation, especially from the year 1952 onwards. We find subsequently there were state financial corporations. Starting from 1952 onwards, one by one, the state financial corporations were established. For example, in case of Kerala, we have also our Kerala State Financial Corporation, not financial enterprise. Financial enterprise is government chitty. Financial Kerala State Financial Enterprise, government chitty farmer. And this is not. It is, we may say, financial corporation. In Velambalam, we have that office wherein it is subscribing to the share capital of industrial concern, providing financial assistance and all requirement of starting an industry they are helping. And all that institutions, state government have their own state finance corporation, and their branches also we see in the capital market of both BSE and NSE even today. And therefore, that is also another constituent of the financial institutions of the capital market. Then, another, in the year 1955, another most important development bank government started, ICICI, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, ICICI, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, which was established in the year 1955 for subscribing to the share capital of the industrial concerns. But subsequently what happened is that a portion of the ICICI is on a reverse merger process established the ICICI Bank, which is a private industrial concern. A part is diverted subsequently and established bank, that is ICICI Bank Limited, a portion on a merger process, a transferred or we say reverse merger process. It is established a portion ICICI Bank. The balance, the one part even today is working as ICICI Development Bank. Development Bank ICICI started in 1955 is continuing in the capital market as one of the financial institution trading shares and securities. Then subsequently we have started what is called IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, 1964 land. In the year 1964, IDBI, Industrial Development Bank, was started by Government of India. Subsequently now it is a pure commercial bank, IDBI, one of the nationalized commercial bank. Now it is working as one of the nationalized commercial bank, though it was initially established by Government of India as a development bank, industrial bank. For the purpose of subscribing to the share capital, it was established. Now it is of course a public sector commercial bank, but even though it is a public sector commercial bank, it is also doing transaction, having transaction and a connection with the capital market, not only in money market. Commercial bank is an institution in the money market, but this IDBI is doing transaction as it was doing earlier. In the capital market, their transaction we can find. Even today, it is having its trading operation in the capital market of India, IDBI. Then UTI, Unit Trust of India. Very same year 1964. In the very same year 1964, Unit Trust of India was established. UTI, Unit Trust of India. That Unit Trust of India, a portion of which is converted as Axis Bank today, just like ICICI Bank. Just like ICICI Bank established, a portion of the UTI is converted and established as the Axis Bank. Axis Bank. UTI is sometimes one of the institution in the financial institution category working in the capital market of India. Then another one, another institution is IIBI, Industrial Investment Bank of India. Industrial Investment Bank of India. Then NHB, National Housing Bank. NHB, National Housing Bank. SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India. SIDBI, etc. Subsequently, they were also established, and even today it is working. NHB and SIDBI are now financial institution run by RBI. Financial institution run by RBI, this SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India, and the National Housing Bank. Now, financial institution, subsidiary organization of the Reserve Bank of India, it is working. Then, over and above this, though LIC was established, LIC was not meant for the trading of shares and securities in the capital market. It was not. But today LIC is having transaction with the capital market, because we have now LIC started unit-linked policies, unit-linked life insurance policies. LIC started. So, using the premium contribution of the LIC holders, money used by the LIC for purchasing shares and securities from the capital market on behalf of the insurance holders. On behalf of the insurance holders, their premium contribution, a portion of the premium contribution for LIC is used by this LIC for purchasing shares and security, and the profit will be divided, will be given to these premium holders, insurance holders. So LIC, though it is not LIC is not a development bank or the financial institution established for subscription to the share capital, now it is working in the capital market as it is dealing with the security, purchasing unit-linked policies they are running. They have to trade in the capital market, and so LIC can also be considered as another institution in the financial institution category working in the capital market. Then similarly, we have General Insurance Corporation, GIC, General Insurance Corporation. General Insurance Corporation is also not established for trading shares and securities. It is not established for the purpose of trading shares and security, but General Insurance Corporation is also now dealing transaction with the capital market. All these institutions are either established by Government of India or automatically now converted a portion into commercial bank existing in the capital market. All of them taken together we call financial institutions working in the capital market. Then over and above the financial institutions of all these different types, we find there is another group of service providers. We take all the financial institutions of service providers under the category of financial intermediaries. The other one is financial institutions. The other one is financial institution, And this is financial intermediaries. Financial intermediaries. They are supposed to be service providers, sir. They are supposed to be service providers, providing different types of services in the capital market. Different services are provided by these institutions in the capital market. All of them taken together we call financial intermediaries, service providers of different type. One of the most important service providers in the financial intermediary section now is venture capital funds. Venture capital funds, one of the popular service provider or financial intermediary working in the capital market or national level. Venture capital funds or venture capital institutions. Now these are the venture capital. Regarding venture capital, the new industrial concern. That means newly established industrial concern may find it very difficult to raise fund for starting their investment. Startup will find, especially if the startup is trying to introduce a novel commodity, very new commodity, which is not at all available. It is a new introduction, a new product, a very new product. Suppose they have developed out of their research studies of the last so many years. Due to their research studies, they could develop a new product, very new product, which was not at all available in the economy previously. So that new product is unknown to the producers. What surety? The farm will be successfully working and the product will be accepted or purchased by the new consumers. Consumers have no idea with regard to that product. They may sometimes reject that commodity. Our new enterprises will find very difficult to obtain financial assistance from a commercial bank or by issuing a share capital in the market also. It is not possible because they have to come where? They have to come in the primary market, new establishment, and so they should come in the primary market. There will be no demand for the shares and securities issued by the new industrial concern, as the concern is not at all popular and the product is not known, and so it is highly risky to introduce a new product in the market. And so when a new product is introduced in the market, it is very difficult to get a financial assistance either from the commercial bank, or it is not possible easy to issue shares and raise fund required for the establishment. So new establishment will find it difficult to start their venture because of these difficulties. In such occasion, such circumstance, there is a new entrant in the capital market. There is a new entry or entrant in the capital market providing financial support to the new enterprises, assuming that there is a risk. Whatever risk involved in the business, they are ready to shoulder. They are ready to shoulder the risk and provide financial assistance. They will buy. They will buy the shares and security blindly, even though it is a new product, even though it is a very risky one, they are ready. And if the industry is progressing or making very good profit, they will get a good share of the profit earned by the industrial concern. But if there is a loss, they are ready. They are ready to shoulder the loss also. So such a institution providing risk finance, ready to undergo the risk involved in the financing of an industrial concern and for the introduction of a new industrial, novel industrial product which is not in existence, venture capital funds are very helpful. So the venture capital funds are providing financial assistance to new industrial concerns. New industrial concerns, that means new product to introduce in the market, risk involved financing, they are ready, and these organizations are what is called venture capital institution. Majority of them are from foreign countries. Majority of these persons are from foreign countries. So venture capital fund is a service provider, financial service, financial facility to new enterprises where risk is involved. That question was also asked in the examination, the central civil service examination. Wherever risk as well as the two words are, one is risk and other is novel product. Novel product, risk involved, novel product to finance, venture capital funds are ready.